On today's show, we're going to be comparing and contrasting the beautiful Poison Ivy premium format statues from Sideshow Collectibles. That's up next. Alright everybody, welcome back, and like I said, today we are going to be doing something that no one else has done on YouTube as far as I know, is compare and contrast the OG Poison Ivy and the brand new Poison Ivy. At least it's new to me, it's new to my collection, and I wanted to do a side-by-side because again, you just don't see it. You don't see these two amazing statues side by side. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to compare and contrast them. I want to look at all aspects of it and talk about it with you guys today because I'm really excited to figure out which one of these are going to end up in the case back here behind me. I cannot wait. But before we do that, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Also, click the like button and also the notification bell. That will notify you every single time I put out new content. But that's enough of that. Let's get on to the comparison. Alright guys, so now it is time for the comparison. I've got them both side by side. It's so cool to be able to see them side by side for the very first time and appreciate how similar they are, but how incredibly different they are as well. One is definitely more realistic looking. One is more comic booky, if you will. But they're both really impressive and they both look really good. And it's going to be really hard to kind of narrow this down. But I did want to kind of go from the base up, and we'll talk about the differences in this piece, okay? So we're going to start with the OG over here, and we're going to look at their base. And this one, of course, was kind of a plant base with a rocky top, and it's got some nice green elements as well, and of course the vines. Looks very good. If you look over here at the new one, very similar color. They're both very similar in rock, kind of that tannish gray. And then of course this one though has that vinery, which looks really good. And you can see it popping out the top. Of course it's kind of a brownish color. This one is definitely a darker brown, but still looks very good as well. Here you can kind of see them side by side. And as we move up, you're going to see the plants. Now the plants are very, very different. This one is the exclusive, and this one did have these awesome plants right here. Looks really good. I really like these plants. I do feel like the plants win on this one. It's just more interesting. And the plants over here are these really bigger plants, and they're very cool looking, but they lack a lot of color. I wish that they popped a little bit more. It's a little brighter on camera than it is in real life. I wish that maybe they had continued this red right here up and made it that bright. I think that would have popped the base just a little bit, made it stand out. But here's the two plants, and you can see the difference. I don't know which one is more visually interesting, you know, now that I'm looking at them. I really like the character of these, but again, they are very cartoony. As we look at the legs and the lower body, you're going to notice that they both have a very similar vine look. They have the brown vines with the leaves. Of course, this one she's got like a leotard or tights on. This one's her actual skin. But you can definitely see very similar vine look as we go up the leg. And I guess you would call those vine panties. But very similar on both. This one, of course, is more of a bikini look. You know, like she's wearing a bikini. Some sort of swimsuit. Layered leaves, as you can see. The brown vines coming through. Here, of course, she doesn't have that full suit. She's got some vines up the side. Kind of a similar look overall, but different. Then, of course, her top. Again, that layered look with the leaves. Maybe a little bit more natural looking chest. This one, maybe not so much. Still sexy, of course, but I don't know how realistic. But again, the bodies, make sure it's in focus for you guys. This is a little bit more comic book body, and this is more of a athletically toned body for sure. Some people don't like the back on her. Let me kind of spin around here and show you the back. You know, not everybody loves that, but it is very realistic looking. Her backside and her back muscles. Some people thought she looked too manly. I just think she looks fit. Looks really great. And let's take a look at her on her backside here. I'll spin her around and show you what we're working with here. So, similar look. Obviously the hair on her, much fuller hair on the backside. I really like the color of red. I think they did a really good job. And let me spin it back around here. And let's look at the color of the hair. Obviously this is kind of a lighter color red, maybe like a true red. I like this red better. I love redheads, and so I like this color better. I kind of wish that they had gone a little darker on this one, but still looks good. And then let's look at the faces. So this is the face sculpt here. Still very beautiful. Nice paint. Sexy eyes, sexy lips. And on this one, again, very, very beautiful face. I feel like this is just more realistic than the other one. One thing that I do like about the new one is this one you basically have a standard pose. You have straight on. You can maybe kind of make her go to the side like this a little bit, which I think is really amazing. I really like the side profile I always have. I don't like it as much from this profile. I don't think it looks quite as good. But still, you get a front profile with her. With this one, you have a couple different options. You can display her like this. You can display her straight on, like this. And you can also display her from the backside like that, which I love that you basically get three options to pose her, whereas the OG you just don't have that option as much. But anyway, they're both beautiful, right guys? I mean, they're both stunning. They both hold up in their own right. Is one going to look better in the case? You know, I've got a lot of newer statues in the case. Got some older ones too, but which one's going to look better? I just think it's so cool to finally be able to get these two side by side, because again, they are so different, but they're both still very good. I mean, if you take her out of the picture, this one right here is still absolutely stunning. Beautiful statue. But whenever you have her in the image, I feel like she kind of stands out more because she's more realistic looking. I love the OG because of her flesh tone. You don't see very many flesh tone Ivies anymore. They're mostly all green, and that's because she's green in the comics now. She's green in the media, on TV, and everywhere else. So you get this green. Is this green perfect? No. I showed it to my son, and he said, "Why is she yellow?" She's got a bad case of jaundice, I guess. I don't know. But in real life, she is green to me. But is she this green? Nope. Is she Joker hair green back there? No. But she is definitely a lighter color. Is it a more realistic green? Maybe. Is it more of an ivy green? Maybe. Would I have maybe liked her to be a little bit different shade? Sure. But I still think she's really good. But bottom line, here they are, right next to each other. And now what I want to do is I want to put them both in the case so you can see what they look like in there. Alright guys, so let's see how these statues all fit in together. And we're going to start with the modern version here, okay? So obviously, beautiful. Right behind her is the modern Catwoman. And as you can see, she has been an upgrade from the OG Catwoman that I used to own. And so obviously these two fit in very nicely together. Now, she fits in my opinion, very well with Bane. And Bane is that modern look as well, but it did bridge the gap between the OG line and the new line. So I feel like the three of these look very, very good together. Don't you think? And then, of course, I also have the modern Batman, which replaced my OG. Do you guys see a trend here? It's a trend that I didn't think that I would be doing. But obviously Batman works very well with Ivy. and works very well with Catwoman and very well with Bane. So this half of the case, I feel like, works very well together. And then, of course, in frame, you have the Joker. And the Joker is an OG. I still feel like it's one of the best Jokers ever produced. And do I feel like he works really well with this new Batman? I do. I think it works very well. And I feel like, again, this half of the case all has a realistic look, and I think it all works well together. And then let's talk about this half of the case, because this half of the case is a little bit different story. So we have the OG Harley, which still looks very good. It's rare that you get a Jester anymore. It's more of her modern take. I love this Harley, but she is starting to look dated. She is looking a little bit dated. I feel like she, though, ties in very well with the OG Poison Ivy, which is still absolutely stunning. All three of these, the Joker, Batman, Harley, and even Killer Croc over here, they all look very good together. But at the same time, these are starting to show that they're not quite as detailed, and you know, they're just a different look, a different take. Killer Croc right here is more detailed. He's more textured. Just such a great statue. But again, he has more detail than Ivy does. Ivy was one of the first ones out. One thing I love about this Ivy is that it's skin tone. I mean, it's just that natural skin tone. It is not that green color. And that is becoming more and more rare as Ivy is more green in the comics. So to have a piece like this, it is, you know, not as common to find. I feel like this Ivy is still amazingly beautiful, sexy. Just look at that. It's just a great piece. But in terms of the rest of the collection, you know, I still feel like she works very well. But does she work better than this one? This Ivy is not everybody's cup of tea. That's for sure. But as I'm looking at this collection here, as I'm looking at these pieces, and trying to figure out which one works better for the collection, I want to know your thoughts down below for sure. Which one works better in your eyes? This one right here, the OG, or the more modern take? One thing else you have to consider, of course, is the modern take with the Mr. Freeze that's going to be joining this case, and also the Scarecrow, and any other premium formats that Sideshow may, hopefully, announce here soon. I'm sure hoping for San Diego Comic-Con. So it's a tough choice. Just because I keep one in the case doesn't mean I'm going to be getting rid of one. It's possible. If I keep her in the case, then I will probably move the OG, this one, over to the white bookshelves, somewhere over here, and maybe she'll be up there somewhere. Or maybe even back over there somewhere. There's plenty of room for her. The 1/4 scale works very well on those shelves. To be honest, right now I am leaning more toward having her in the case. I feel like she's more realistic. I feel like she fits in maybe just a little bit better, especially as like I said, I anticipate those other two pieces, Freeze and Scarecrow. And she does add a little bit of color to the case, which that's not saying that this one doesn't either. I mean, she adds great color. But I just don't know. I just don't know. I'm going to show you from this angle here. I don't know. I'm leaning more toward the new one. I'm leaning more toward having her in the case. I would put her where the other one is. So she would be kind of looking back toward the Joker. And let me go ahead and show you what that looks like now. And in the end, the new one has won out. I just think that she fits better in the case. I've asked the community what they thought, and most people agree. There's still a lot of people that really like the OG. And the OG, for the time being, will stay in my collection. I'm not exactly sure where she's going to go. But I do feel like this one right here just really does fit this collection really nicely. Again, let me kind of zoom back here and show you what she looks like in it. But guys, if you are on the fence about this statue, definitely worth it.
She's beautiful, and I do feel like she's an upgrade. It was a very tough choice. You know, I might second guess myself, but I do feel like she really fits this collection nicely, and I feel like she's beautifully sculpted. Absolutely awesome.
Alright guys, there you have it. Two amazing, beautiful statues, both from Sideshow Collectibles. I'm so glad that we finally got to compare and contrast them today, because like I said before, I don't think anybody on YouTube has done that. I don't think we've seen them side by side like this, and it's really pretty eye-opening to see the two together and to see the differences. They are both still beautiful, beautiful statues. I am in love with both of them. But at the end of the day, I had to choose one because only one can fit in my case, and I chose the more modern Poison Ivy. And I did that because I think she's phenomenal. I think she's sexy. I think that she's sculpted very well, and she has a more modern look than this one does. This one is definitely more comic booky, but they're still both phenomenal. And I wish I could keep both in the case, but I had to go with the modern version because I just feel like she fits in better with the current state of the collection. If it was 5 years ago, this one still would have ruled. I still am planning on keeping her for the time being. I don't know where she's going to go, but I can't part with her yet. It's possible that she might end up being sold. It's going to be a sad day for the Batman statue collector, but I have to look forward. I have to keep looking forward to the future, and I feel like this piece goes with that future. Mr. Freeze, Scarecrow, and whatever else they do. I just feel like she fits in a little bit better. But I want to know your thoughts. Are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? Are you pissed off that I don't have her in the case? I'm sure there's going to be some of you that really feel that way. I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of love for this piece, and there's a lot of people that love this piece and hate this piece. But I want to know your thoughts down below. Please leave them in the comments. And if you disagree with me, try to convince me to put her back in the case. It's not too late. As always, I thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button and the notification bell, and make sure that you click always on, the all notifications. That way you get every video that we put out and you don't miss a beat. As always, I thank you so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this comparison video today, because I really enjoyed it. And man, what a great day to be a Poison Ivy collector. Thank you so very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the Batcave. Bye, everybody. Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these two awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.